Justin, we have to talk about Google Gemini that just rolled out this week. And of course, we have a major presentation with you, me, and Dana for an IMA group on AI. But we at least take a moment and talk about it. This is a big deal. The major competitor to ChatGPT just came out from Google. And I think this was started the day ChatGPT went live over in Google. What do you think?
I think so. And this has definitely been a year of rollouts. Google probably didn't get the reception they expected earlier in the year. And it seems that ChatGPT has just been rolling with it lately. So I think this is kind of their response to Microsoft and OpenAI.
It's a LLM multimodal system. I think I'm not going to say that 3 times, but basically it's working together with voice, text, images, and code. Did I leave anything out there? I think those are the main components.
That's the essential ones there. So text, images, audio, video, and code simultaneously is what makes it a multimodal LLM.
ChatGPT, when you ask it to generate an image, it's now going over to Dolly and working together, especially on the paid version, to generate it, while this system is all integrated with video, images, voice, text, the whole 9 yards. Now, they gave some demos. Apparently, Justin, they kind of got caught that they acted like it was all animated in video, and some smart people seem to say they just used some stills, and basically ChatGPT right now can do the same thing. And I think it's because Google's nervous and wants to have something by end of year to say, hey, this is coming. It's like the old IBM. Hey, we're going to have something really cool here in a year or so.
And there have been a lot of mixed reviews since the rollout. And you, of course, have those who think it's amazing and how, just taking from what Google's presented and then, looking at what Bard is able to do, which Bard has come a long way in the last 6 months, that's for sure. But then, of course, you have the critics out there who have said, called out some of the things like you just mentioned. And then, two, one thing that I don't really see Google putting out there, but a lot of people who are using this and doing similar to what you and I are doing are starting to really mention is you have, the Gemini Nano, Gemini Pro, and then the Gemini Ultra, which a lot of your demos are coming from Gemini Ultra, which is kind of the enterprise system, where Nano is more along the lines of your GPT-3 free, your Pro is more of your Chat GPT-4, and then of course Ultra is the large model, which most of us aren't going to have access to right now. And so it can come off a little bit, I don't want to say deceiving per se, that you're showing what it can do using an ultra model that most anybody's not going to have, most end users aren't going to have access to, and you're using the pro version. And so, I would say at least, make that known. And kind of what I'm seeing is the pro version is what you're seeing in Google Bard, much like if you are familiar with Copilot and Bing Chat that utilizes GPT-4, it's kind of similar on that side of the market. So they're integrating it into the free tools and then giving you a little bit more in the paid version, just like with ChatGPT-4. But again, they seem to be tripping up a little bit on how they're rolling it out, and it does seem a little rushed.
Yeah. Now, the other thing about the Nano is that's really designed to be able to work on a mobile device, even if it's offline. So
That's right.
It's kind of cool. They got the mini one in, and I think, it's sort of like I have an Apple Watch. It's this latest version supposed to have a little AI that can run when in the ultimate level when I'm not connected to the internet. So I think that's great to have a very simple version that could run on all types of devices. And I think it's exciting for all of us because more competition means a better product for everybody, in my view. So it's a great announcement. It's exciting to follow it and to see what they do with it, because of course, let's talk about some things that Google has an advantage on it. They have their own processors. You know, they've got those tensor
Right.
processors they designed to build themselves. No one else. Microsoft, I don't think, has all their own hardware there in the same way, you know, that accesses it. And that this all can run on it. And of course, they have insane amount of data that they already own to be
Right.
able to draw on. So they have some big competitive advantages. And now the one thing I didn't hear is it going to be integrated into Google's own docs, which is a competitor word? Now, I'm getting feedback from people already that even in the slide system, the little AI images are slowly getting better with
Mhm.
it. But I didn't hear mention that they're definitely bringing this over into that system. But that would give Microsoft more of a run for a money if they had kind of their equivalent of the Copilot that's in Microsoft over in the standard Google applications.
And that's a good point, because in an interview this year, when the OpenAI thing happened over Thanksgiving, where Sam Altman was fired, brought back, and then the rearrangement, I remember one of those interviews, Satya Nadella with Microsoft CEO had mentioned that one regret he had was stopping the development of the Microsoft phone or the Windows phone, whereas Google has really been pushing their own end user device in the Windows phone. And so it is amazing to think that we could have watches, Apple Watch or whichever, that had your own virtual assistant. Because many make the argument now that since most of us carry our phone with us or have a watch with us wherever we go, you could technically classify someone as a cyborg already, which is just the augmentation of us with a handy, readily available AI or access to data. And so to think that you could have something like Nano that's on your wrist, easily accessible, is very exciting. And I do think in ways Google has beat Microsoft to the punch just in how far they are in developing the end user phone. Now, naturally, I would think the business model would be, since they have the mass data, they have a very comprehensive and well organized um, platform as far as the data centers and what they can do with moving that data and processing that data. When you look at Gemini, what they're looking at trying to do there, they have their phone. And then again, Google Labs, like you said, it would only be natural that all of this would integrate together to make a very streamlined, very powerful platform across all of its various products. I know that's where Microsoft is wanting to go. And that was one of the things that came out of the OpenAI situation over Thanksgiving, is that Sam Altman was working with outside third-party vendors to try to get their own chips. Microsoft is actively pursuing their own chips and hardware. We know that OpenAI wants to develop, at least on the OpenAI global side, they want to develop their own end user device, so that way you could have, ChatGPT available, just like what we're looking at with Gemini Nano, essentially. So it's definitely heating up, but I will say, you know, I hope that Google is able to achieve what their plans are, because I'm very excited to be able to, just lift my wrist up and be able to access, AI to just help me in day-to-day tasks, or really anything that I'm working on uh automatically. That's very exciting.
Yeah, we'll go into more. We just wanted to make this quick video on it. Check the links below. And of course, Justin and I and Dana Gower, we offer training, professional talks and trainings, but we also, Justin and I have specialized things that we offer for small businesses, and utilizing mainly the free tools are low cost for them. At the enterprise level and the professional, we're talking more about the entire industry and what's going on. but it's an exciting time to be involved in AI. This is truly the next industrial revolution. And someone mentioned it. One more analogy I heard today is like when electricity started, you had basically, it was like an augmented thing that was helping drive stuff that already had pumps that were running on other systems, and it really was nothing more than that. And then, of course, once electricity fully integrated into a building or a warehouse, then they had whole new ways of doing things versus having it like a steam engine or something driving stuff. In the beginning, the electricity was kind of replacing the motor and the belt that went through it. And we're really at that very first stage of evolution in all of this. So understand it's just going to keep growing. How fast is all dependent on the ability to come up with new algorithms, new systems, and new processes. And of course, its ability to do more general learning of what's going on and adapting. Okay, thanks, Justin. This is our quick catch up. If you found it useful, make sure to click subscribe and the bell. Have a great day, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on Google's new rollout of AI.